While searching for a missing student, two private investigators break into his house where they find and watch a collection of VHS tapes.
This is VHS 2.
Did you hear that?
I enjoyed VHS because while I thought it had plenty of problems, it also had some really great ideas and some really great little scares and tricks and whatever, and because it was an anthology, I feel like I took away something from each film, even if I didn't love each film completely. That being said, I thought at the very least VHS 2 would be more of the same. I didn't expect I would love the whole thing, but I thought there would be enough that I would take away a few things that I did really like. And I have to say, that's exactly what happened. Once again, I definitely did not love each film completely 100%, and I actually was kind of bored by one of them, but I definitely got chills at a few spots, I jumped out of my skin at a few spots, and I definitely took away at least one thing from each film. So again, like with VHS, I did enjoy VHS 2. Now, another problem I had with VHS 2 sort of comes into play here, and that's the fact that usually in a found footage horror film, the part that is kind of boring is the beginning, because you have to set up the characters, you have to set up what's going on before you can get to the real good stuff. Now, that happens technically 5 times, or at least there's potential for that to happen 5 times, or 4 times, however many films there were, I don't even remember. And that does happen a little bit, but I feel like it happened more in the first one than in this one, and so I'm glad for that. However, this time around, there are some problems that didn't come around the first time, and the first is that it felt a little bit rushed, and it felt a little bit repetitive. The use of the camera, the style of it, I guess, the POV stuff kind of got repetitive. I like the fact that there's more humor in VHS 2 than in VHS, although it's really more so in the first half than the second half, or at least the first 2/3. I don't really remember exactly where everything broke up, but let me get a little more into the individual shorts. First things first, we had the eye implant one, which I thought was a really cool idea. Could have been lame, the fact that it was an eye implant. I feel like that could have been terrible, but I liked it. I actually thought it worked, and I think it's because of the fact that there was some humor in it. I liked the blinking, and I really liked the just style of it. I thought it was very creepy right from the start. I was really into it, and I was really excited for the rest of the film. The next one was the GoPro one, and I think this was my favorite conceptually, maybe not my favorite as far as execution goes, although it was pretty damn cool, and I do have to say a little bit of a spoiler about this. I'll talk about it at the end. I really don't want to ruin it for you, because when I realized what was going on, I was pumped. The one in the compound with all the weird stuff going on, I don't know how else to explain it. Hopefully you know which one I'm talking about. This is the one that lost me. I thought it was a little boring. I don't know if it was longer than the other ones, but it felt so much longer. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. Maybe that's just a testament to the other ones being interesting and engaging, and this one just really not grabbing me. I could appreciate some of the creepy stuff going on. It definitely was weird, but overall, I thought it was kind of dull, and I just wasn't really into it. However, I'm glad to say that it picked up a bit with the last one, which was the dog's perspective short. I don't know how else to explain it, but I thought this one had really great costumes, really great audio, and really great lighting, but it was a little bit too hectic to follow exactly what was going on. I still enjoyed it because I thought it was visually very interesting, but a little bit confusing if you're actually trying to pay attention to what the hell's going on. And of course, the overall film that encompasses the rest of the films, I thought was cool, but very similar to the first one, just in the sense of like the angle and the scares, the tension, not so much the scares as much as why you are tense during those scenes. You're looking in the background, just seeing if anybody's gonna walk by. And so I guess if that's just gonna be something that is expected and is like the staple of VHS, they're always encompassed by this sort of thing, then it's okay. But I was a little let down that it was so similar. But of course, as soon as they walked into the TV room, I pooped my pants in fear and excitement because I thought, oh yeah, baby, we are back. But now I'm going to talk about that spoiler that I wanted to talk about with the GoPro one. So if you have not seen VHS 2, I highly recommend you stop watching this review right now, because unless it's something that's obvious from the trailer and I just didn't realize it or I forgot, I was surprised and I don't want to ruin it for you. So please watch VHS 2 and then come back and see what I had to say. But what I want to talk about is the fact that it turns out to be a GoPro on a zombie. I thought it was brilliant. That whole concept was fantastic, executed very well. The whole thing might have, not been perfect, but the way that panned out I thought was excellent, because it starts off as a human, of course, otherwise why would there be a GoPro on a zombie? Really, really great idea. I was very, very happy with that. But that's really all I have to say that's spoilerish. I didn't want to ruin it just in case it's not something that you know going in. I didn't know it going in, and I'm really glad I didn't because I was very pleasantly surprised. But I want to know what you thought of VHS 2. Did you think it was better or worse than the original? I really didn't know when I finished it first, like immediately after. I didn't really like it as much as the first one just because I got a little bored in the middle of it. But thinking back, there were definitely some cool things in it, so I don't really know where I would rank them, but I'd love to know what you think on that front. Let me know which short was your favorite, of course. Let me know what you thought of the GoPro zombie one, but if you're going to talk about that, please put a spoiler tag. And also let me know what you thought of the fact that the overall one was so repetitive. Let me know anything else that you want about VHS 2, and that's pretty much it. I was a little bit that scared the shit out of me. Holy shit.